Good day, everyone. I am Christine Joy Ramirez, the first reporter of Group 9, and our topic is about continuous improvement methods. The objectives of this topic is brief overview perfection versus continuous improvement, defining and mapping a process learning from a Duran trilogy, overview of approaches for process improvement, choosing and integrating right improvement strategies, understanding the types of problems, understanding the concept of PDSA cycle and problem solving method, and studying the TQM approaches, Kaizen, reengineering, and Six Sigma. Introduction. Quality-based organizations should strive to achieve perfection by continuously improving the business and production processes. Of course, perfection is impossible because the race is never over. However, we must continually strive for its attainment. Continuous process improvement is designed to utilize the resources of the organization to achieve a quality-driven culture. Improvement is made by viewing all the work as a process whether it is associated with production or business activities, making all processes effective, efficient, and adaptable, anticipating changing customers' needs, controlling in-process performance using measures such as scrap reduction, cycle time, control charts, and so forth, maintaining constructive dissatisfaction with the presence of level of performance, eliminating waste and rework wherever it occurs, investigating activities that do not add value to the product or service with the aim of eliminating those activities, eliminating non-conformities in all phases of everyone's work even if the increment of improvement is small, using benchmarking to improve competitive advantage, innovating to achieve breakthroughs, incorporating lessons learned into future activities, and using technical tools such as statistical process control, experimental design, benchmarking, quality function deployment, and so forth. Process. Process refers to business and production activities of an organization. Business processes such as purchasing, engineering, accounting, and marketing are areas where nonconformance can represent the opportunity of substantial improvement. The process is the interaction of some combination of people, material, equipments, methods, measurements, and the environment to produce an outcome such as product, a service, or an input to another process. There are five basic ways to improve process. First is reduce resources. A process that uses more resources than necessary is wasteful. Reports that are distributed to more people than necessary waste copying and distribution time, material, user read time, and eventually file space. Second is reduce errors. For the most part, errors are a sign of poor workmanship and require rework. Typing errors that are detected after the computer printout required opening the file, making the correction, and printing the revised documents. Third is meet or exceed expectation of downstream customers. By meeting or exceeding expectation of downstream customers, the process is improved. For example, the better the weld, the less grinding required, making the appearance of the finished paint more pleasing. Fourth is make the process safer. The fourth way a process can be improved is by making it safer. A safer workplace is more productive, one with fewer lost time accidents and less workers' compensation claims. Fifth is make the process more satisfying to the person doing it. The fifth way to improve a process is to increase the satisfaction of the individual performing the process. Sometimes a little change, such as ergonomically correct chair, can make a substantial change in the person's attitude towards their work. The Duran Trilogy. Process improvement involves planning. One of the best approaches is the one developed by Dr. Joseph Duran. It has three components: planning, controlling, and improvement, and is referred to as the Duran Trilogy. It is based loosely on financial processes such as budgeting, which is the planning, expense measurement, which is the control, and the cost reduction, which is the improvement. Planning. The planning component begins with external customers. Once quality goals are established, marketing determines the external customers and all organizational personnel determines the internal customers. Once the customers are determined, their needs are discovered. This activity requires the customers to state needs in their own words and from their own viewpoint. However, real needs may differ from state needs. The next step in the planning process is to develop product or service features that respond to the customer needs, meets organizations and its suppliers' needs, are competitive, and optimize all the costs of all stakeholders. This step typically is performed by multifunctional team. Quality function deployment, packages quality, engineering, and quality by design are some of the approaches that can be used. The fourth step is to develop the processes able to produce the product or service features. Some of this planning would have occurred during the previous step. This step also performed by multifunctional team with the liaison to the design team. Activities include determining the necessary faculty, facilities, trainings, and operation controls and maintenance of the facilities. Additional activities include process capability evaluation and process control type and location. Transferring plan to operation is the final step of planning process. Once again, a multifunctional team with a liaison to the other team is used. When training is necessary, it should be performed by members of the process planning team. Process validation is necessary to ensure with a high degree of assurance that the process will consistently produce or service meeting requirements. Control. Control is used by operating forces to help meet the product, process, and service requirements. It uses the feedback loop and consists of the following steps. Determine items or subjects to control and their units of measure. Set goals of the controls and determine the sensors need to be put in the place to measure the product, process, or service. Make actual performance. Compare actual performance to goals. Act on the difference. Statistical process control is the primary technique for achieving control. The basic statistical process control tools are Pareto diagrams, cause and effect diagrams, check sheets, histograms, control charts, and scatter diagrams. Improvement. The third part of the trilogy aims to attain levels of performance that are significantly higher than current levels. Process improvements begins with the establishment of an effective infrastructure such as the Quality Council. Two of the duties of Council are to identify the improvement project and establish the project teams with a project owner. In addition, the Quality Council needs to provide the teams with the resources to determine the causes, create solutions, and establish controls to hold the gains. The problem-solving method described in the latter section may be applied to improve the process, while the Quality Council is the driver that ensures the improvement is continuous and never-ending. Improvement strategies. There are four primary improvement strategies. These are the repair, refinement, renovation, and reinvention. Choosing the right strategy for the right situation is critical. This is also true that proper integration of the strategies will produce never-ending improvement. Repair. This strategy is simple. Anything broken must be fixed so that it functions as designed. There are two levels to this strategy. If a customer receives a damaged product, a quick fix is required. This level is a temporary or short-term measure. Although short-term measures shore up the problem, they should not become permanent. The second level occurs when an individual or team identifies and eliminates the roots, causes the problem, and effects a permanent solution. It is important to note that the repair strategy does not make the process better than the original design. Refinement. This strategy involves activities that continually improve a process that is not broken. Improvement to processes, products, and services are accomplished on an incremental basis. Refinement improves efficiency and effectiveness. It should become an integral part of every employee's job. Both individuals and teams can use this strategy. Typically, it relies on doing things just a bit quicker, better, easier, or with less waste. This is the concept behind Kaizen to be discussed later in this chapter. The change may be so gradual that there is no appearance of change. The primary benefit of gradual change is that it produces little resistance from employees. However, because the change is so gradual, management may not be recognized and reward the affected employees. Also, minor changes may not be documented or properly communicated. Renovation. This strategy results in major breakthrough improvements. Although the resulting product, service, process, or activity might offer appear to be different from the original, it is basically the same. Innovation and technological advancement are key factors in this approach. Renovation is more costly than the previous strategies and is usually undertaken by teams rather than individuals. Reinvention. Reinvention is the most demanding improvement strategy. It is preceded by the feeling that the current approach will never satisfy customers' requirements. A new product, service, process, or activity is developed using teams based on the complete understanding of the customer's requirements and expectations. Reinvention or reengineering begins by imagining that the previous condition does not exist. In other words, a clean sheet of paper. Reinvention might also be desirable to maintain organization vitality or competitive advantage. An organization should use this strategy sparingly because of resistance to change and the fact that the new product, service, activity will probably need to have the bugs removed by repair, refine, and renovation.